Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Stand for a pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. All are present except Mr. Garcia. Notice to the public. Any members of the public wishing to address the governing board on a topic within the subject matter jurisdiction of the district but not on the agenda may do so during the public comment period identified in this agenda. By law, subjects not on the agenda cannot be acted upon by the board except to briefly respond, clarify, or refer to staff for review and presentation at a future meeting. The board president will recognize you for public comment on matters on the agenda at the appropriate time. Correspondence?
None.
Consent agenda.
None.
Public comment, there is none here. And guests and presentations, none.
None.
And the director's report.
Okay, library activities. I'm looking for a new auditor. I've gotten 3 proposals. One was $6,500 per year. I really didn't like the person's proposal. I didn't really think she was very professional. The other one, it's $10,666 per year, and another one, $12,500 a year. And I've got one more proposal that's supposedly coming, and I've got a phone call scheduled next Tuesday to talk to somebody else. So,
Okay.
shopping around, trying to find the best one. Hopefully, I'll have a decision and recommendation for the board next month.
What did we pay to the last auditor?
It was $6,500 a year.
So where did you find these people's names? Did you reach out to other library districts, or how did you find them?
I started out with a place called Good Accountants that recommends auditors and CPAs for people. They gave me the first 2. The one was $6,500 a year, and the other one was $12,500. So since there was such a big gap between those numbers, I wanted to get more proposals and try and find out what's a good price. Evidently, since the last guy did it at $6,500 a year, there are all these new GASB regulations that cause a lot more in-depth look at certain areas, particularly pensions, and evidently that takes a lot more time. So that's part of the reason why it's going to be more expensive this time. But I'm hoping to try and get the process started January or February next year. We finished our survey, and it was up for 6 weeks, and it ended on Halloween. We had 113 people respond. Just kind of a summary of the answers to the questions. 96% of the people said they had a library card. 90% of the people said they visited at least once a month. As far as people not using the library on a regular basis, why they didn't, the top answer was that they really didn't have a need for the services that the library provides them. As far as rating the library services, at least 75% thought that customer service, hours of operation, and overall that the library was doing a good or excellent job. The lowest score was on programs for that one. As far as how important each of the library services were to people, everybody thought that all the services were very, very important except for computers and printers, photocopiers, newspapers, and magazines. If the library were to expand, what would you like to see as part of the expansion? The top answer was program rooms for events and story times. The number 2 answer was more adult books, and study rooms was the 3rd most popular answer. 3/4 of the people were between 25 and 64, 80% female as far as who answered the survey. 64% of the people had a college degree or higher. 95% preferred language was English, 5% Spanish, and 1 person responded French. Some of the comments, one person said that they would like to increase the number of speakers and activities, enlarge the library, and increase the genealogy offerings. One person wanted a large multi-purpose room. One person said that the customer service had improved greatly over the past 3 years. 2 people said that we needed more supervision in the children's area. One person said a better teen reading program. One person wanted more textbooks. One person said that the library was dumpy and crowded, it needed a major overhaul, and was shabby looking.
Sorry about that. I was having a bad day.
2 people said to be sure that we kept the original architecture of the Carnegie, and one person said hope to see a bigger library soon. We took part in the Halloween celebration downtown this year. Based on the number of candies that we gave out, we served 2,100 kids. We gave out 2,200 candies, and I just kind of knocked off 100 for people that grabbed multiple. But we had people like there the whole time, making sure that people just took one. So I think it's between 21 and 2,200 kids. So.
And the friends were giving away books, huh?
Yeah, they did that last year too.
That was fun.
Yeah. So lots of people. It was steady the whole time, all the way up till around 4. There were people coming. We're going to be taking part in the Christmas tree lighting. Jim's going to be doing story times, and one of the pages will be dressed as Paddington Bear to greet the kids at the door. I met with the CPS HR consulting group about redoing the policy manual. I met with 4 people. They're putting together a proposal for us as to what it would cost to do that. Their initial estimate was $7,900, but it'll be interesting to see what their final number is. They also gave me some advice on selecting an auditor, which was another way that I found they recommended some of the top firms in Sacramento, which is how I got the names of some of the other people that I contacted. The bound volumes of the Dixon Tribune that were donated by the YOLO archives to the Historical Society, all 3 of those volumes have been added to the index. So all of 1886 is in there now, and then selected issues from other years from the 1880s. They had to unbind the volumes to scan them and add them to the database. So next week I have to take them to a bindery in Vallejo, and they're going to rebind them there for us. I put a proposal together to Rotary that we work together on an adult literacy program for Dixon. It's one of Rotary's causes, and one of the volunteers for the Friends of the Library had been looking into that and trying to get a program going in Dixon. So I put together a proposal, but I'm waiting to hear back from Rotary to see if they're interested in doing that. The architect's still working on the plans and cost estimates. I've got a meeting with him Monday morning, so we'll know more then. That Student Success Initiative to try and get the library cards in the hands of students in the public schools. We had a second webinar, and a lot of the libraries that participated last year have been sharing their experiences and some of the documents that they've used. And we're in contact with our mentor library up in Woodland to try and give us advice on how things went there. Jim went to the California Library Association conference last week in Riverside, and one of the seminars that he attended was partnering with your high school, so hopefully you'll get some ideas from that. He's taken a couple classes on freshening up your story times, and he has another class with the Bureau of Education on new books for K through 8. And both of the early literacy computers are up and running in the children's department now, and those have been advertised on Facebook. And I think that's it as far as the library activities go.
Very good. Okay, is there any board comment about the library activities? Okay. Ongoing business, the Library Advisory Committee update.
The descriptive matter and applications are available at the library, on Facebook, and on the website. It was the top story in the Dixon Tribune last Friday, but so far we haven't gotten any applications yet.
I do have one comment that I wanted to see how the board felt. I had an email from a staff member that had just said that though we want a staff member on the committee, it's not a paid position. So their question was, is if they could take turns being on the committee. Like if someone does it for a couple months and then they have another staff member. So I just want to put that out there to see what you guys feel, because it's not a paid position. It'd be outside their work duty. They were wondering if they could take turns. That was, so,
Well, it wouldn't be their duty, though. It'd be something they wanted to do.
yeah.
So, I mean, I'm okay with it, but
The only problem I see is the consistency of the person knowing
Right.
what's going on over time on any given issue that they're, you know. And then, of course, if you're switching people, opinions can vary. So how do they decide? Well, no, I don't want to switch. I mean, I guess if it's set up exactly how long they do it ahead of time, so then they can fill each other in when someone takes over on any ongoing issues, I suppose. It seems like a possibility. Maybe a non-issue if no one else applies, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, certainly, there have been a lot of staff members who've attended library board meetings, so I don't, it seemed like they wanted to be involved. So I don't really know. I mean, I sort of see Luke's point about, not having consistency. But I thought this was sort of an opportunity to get staff involved on a level where they wanted to have input.
Okay. So I guess we'll see what interest there is. I mean, if any of them apply to it, and because I know at one point they had asked, what if multiple of us want to be on the
Right.
committee? And anyway, so I didn't comment. I just figured I'd bring it up.
Well, if we get enough other applicants to actually seat a committee, then we can always revisit that issue and modify it to have the employee position for a shorter term and rotate
well,
if we decide we want to do that.
any term or anybody that's on a commission or whatever, they're not obligated to stay, for more than, they want to stay. They can quit any time. So same thing with the employee. If the employee
True.
decides after 4 months, I'm done, then we can get another employee on there if that's our intent. We want to keep an employee on there. So, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
That's true, so it would kind of be foolish not to allow it in a way, because
I mean,
they
you
could
allow
just
it-
do it anyway.
You would allow it in any other demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, that's some good thoughts. Are there any more comments about the Library Advisory Committee? No? Okay. So ongoing Friends of the Library book sale.
Yeah, the Friends of the Library had their book sale in mid-October over 2 weekends. They made $690. They put a lot of effort into putting up bookshelves and labeling the different categories of books. And the Friends would like to keep the books in the Miller Building if possible and have periodic book sales, at least in the near future. I support that idea, and up to the point when we are going to actually start renovating the building, I don't really see any reason why not to if it was a successful venture before. But I'm going to leave that up to the board as far as voting as to whether to continue to have a book sale like every month or 2 months.
Okay. Are there any comments about that?
I think it's fine. I don't know we need to vote on it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
because we're not changing anything, right? We're just saying, keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we had, it had been approved as a one-time thing. So that's why I was bringing it to you guys to continue the process.
So I don't know. It says it's an action item, but I don't really
Need to
think
take
that.
action. I appreciate you bringing it to us, but I don't think we have to take action. Yeah, it's sort of, we're not changing, I mean, we might be changing the frequency, but we're not really changing something that, I don't know.
had already happened.
substantial and,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not, yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay.
Okay, so new business, revision of policy 3040, .9.1.
Yeah, this is the thing that was just revised a couple months ago, the FMLA, CFRA, family leave type stuff. There was a Senate Bill 63 that was signed into law on October the 12th, and that extended parental leave rights to businesses between 20 and 50 employees. The library has 21 employees, so we're now covered by that. I gave everybody a copy of what the current policy is, and then the proposed policy. I did yellow highlights of what's changed, and mainly what has changed is on page 2, the parental leave. Basically, that applies to us now, starting January the 1st, but it's a state law, so
But
really,
the actual, the regular FMLA, CFRA, though, still applies to 50 employees?
yeah,
but
that,
it's-
those don't apply to us
It's
yet.
just the parental leave?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the parental leave.
And it looked like when I read through this, all the additions are all just to add in the new Parental Leave Act stuff.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And these were all approved by the attorney.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So there's no public comment, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the revision of policy 3040.9.1.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well, the motion passes. Moving on to our last item, approval of minutes for October 12th, 2017, at our regular meeting. Is there any comments on that? So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I as well. Are there any announcements or anything you guys would like to see on upcoming agendas? Okay, so we'll adjourn our meeting.